Hey guys, this is Iowa Interstate 96 here. We are back again with another engine review. Today we are looking at the Broadway Limited AC6000CW. This goes to a shout out to Manded Beast Vacation. This is his engine. He did not sell me this engine, unfortunately, but he's letting me borrow it for a month because, like I said on my last video, my layout video, my birthday's coming up in a few weeks. So he's just giving me this for my birthday. So it's not my engine, but I'm borrowing it for a month. So it's gonna be on my layout, and I'll get to run it, whatever. I just have to take care of it. But overall, he did a fantastic job of weathering it and stuff like that. This is his engine. He got this engine probably back in November. He got it back into November, December. He traded it. He had it for a trade. It's a BNSF AC6000CW. I believe this is the Heritage 1 scheme, the first scheme. Excuse me. Don't get me wrong, but actually, BNSF does not own any AC6000. This unit right here is a prototype. It's not even a real unit. BNSF 64, it's number 6442. It does not even exist. This engine does not exist. Now, it might be a replica of a -9. There might be a -9 number that, but not in an AC6000. The Lember might be on a -9 or a -8, -9, I think a -8, whatever. The GE's with the first scheme on here, with the green on it and stuff like that, not the black, not the new logo. Overall, this is a Broadway Limited AC6000. Overall, I have to say it's got a lot of features, and also it is a good puller. If you ever want to pull long trains, especially if you're looking for an AC6000 and you want to pull long trains, this is the engine to get. This engine weighs a ton. Like this right here. Hear that? That's like metal. I'm hitting it with my fingernail and it's like metal. It's like, I think this is just really heavy. The trucks are heavy, the inside and stuff like that. Also, don't get me wrong, Broadway Limited did release a second wave of AC6000s with the smoke. This one is the earlier release, so this one has no smoke, so sorry about that. But it's pretty much basically got the same features and stuff like that. Let's go over detail first, and then we'll get into sound. It's got a lot of features. You got your horn there. I can't remember what a horn an AC6000 has. I think a K3 or something like that. I think K3H5. I can't remember. Maybe K5LLA. Well, that's on a SC70 ACE. This is an AC70 SC70 ACE. Overall, let's get into the trucks. He did a good job of weathering it. Like I said, he weathered it. The trucks look really good, really detailed. The weather looks really good, so it actually looks like it's wet, or kind of like a wet thing looking. So those are the trucks. Fuel tank. First front trucks. Road lumber 6442. Everything is crisp and clear. I think this is a good job by Broadway Limited. There's actually people in there. Let me get a closer look up. There's actually people in there. That's the engineer right there, and then there's another person on the other side of the cab. I'll just flip it around. Is the front of the locomotive. There's windshield wipers, The lumber boards are not above here. This is not even prototype. I don't think BNSF has their lumber boards up above here, so that these are these will, like, I think CSX has lumber boards here, so lumber boards are actually supposed to be up here because BNSF has lumber boards up here. I think the headlight, yeah, BNSF has their headlights down here, yeah. So that's prototypical. You got the step ladders right here, your grab irons. This is a little broken. I didn't do that. Your door on the conductor side. Again, road number 6442. Let's go down here. You got your MU hoses separately applied. You got your snow plow. Your this right here with this thing sticking out above the coupler. This moving right there. I believe you pull that to uncouple the train for a real locomotive. Right here is your ditch lights. Another thing with AC6000, they do have flashing ditch lights. That's not prototypical with BNSF. BNSF does not flash their ditch lights. But overall, it's an AC6000. It's basically a BNSF painted locomotive in a replica of a -8 or -9. The GE win this paint scheme. I think it's a C40-8, I think. C44-9W CW, I believe that's the type of locomotive this is replica in, but this is an AC6000CW. Let's get on the roof detail. You got your antennas up there. Doesn't seem much, but I would expect a little more. But there's, like, all these are probably all your antennas right here. Got your kind of, right here's kind of like a spotty kind of grip. Looks like it's like a grip thing. I'm not sure. Your warning labels right here. Just the top of it. Here's your horn. I cannot remember what horn that is called. Here's your radiator. Exhaust stacks. And then here's your radiator section. It looks very, very detailed. Really, really detailed. I really like this, how it came out and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of a Gevo radiator, but it's an AC6000. I believe AC6000s were GE's right before Gevos. I heard they were one of the most unreliable GE locomotives out there, AC6000s. For the smoke units, these do remove, but I don't think this removes, so it doesn't look like this removes. Because this is not a smoke unit. This is the early release. Here's the back of the locomotive. 640-42. There's your back again, your rear coupler, your MU hoses right there, separately applied. There's your air hose, not that, but the behind the coupler. That's your air hose. They actually make this supposed to be your air hose, but it's just on your coupler. But overall, I really like this locomotive. It's really nice. Back of it, your tail light. Oops. There we go. There's your tail light and stuff like that. There's your lumber boards, your rear ones, and stuff like that. Just a second, I'm going to set the camera down and flip the locomotive. So I'm just going to set it down here real quick and flip the locomotive to see it on the other side. But yeah, when you pick this engine up, it's got a lot of weight to it. These are fantastic pullers. If anyone's in the market of an AC6000, I recommend them. But not just only detailed, they're just they are very, very good pullers. That's another thing why I like AC6000s by Broadway Limited. Here's the other guy, the conductor. engineers on the other side. This is 644.2 again. Labels right here, your vents right here, your trucks details, your mechanical bell. AC6000s don't use E-bells like Gevos do, but earlier Gevos did, but these are mechanical bells. Your gauge for how full your fuel tank is. There's your fuel tank. BNSF again, Heritage 1. A warning label. Yeah, your handrails. They're actually pretty sturdy, actually. Not too flimsy. Intermountain Gevos, like one of my Iowa Interstate Gevos, they are crappy. I hate Intermountain Gevo. Oh, I hate Intermountain's handrails on these. Like it's. I mean, they're flimsy, but they if you like try to move them just a mat, you can snap them. They're flimsy, but they just seem easy to break. They are. Anyway, but Broadway Limited did a good job of flimsy or not too bad handrails. Nothing's popping out. There's your radiator section, the rear of it. Again, it's an AC6000. There's the back of it, and also an AC6000. The back sticks out a little bit. It's got a radiator fan about as big as a Gevo radiator fan. It's just a little different. Here's the trucks again, details and stuff like that. Again, this locomotive has a lot of detail. A lot of, well, not just detail, but this locomotive has a lot of features. So I guess we'll get into the review right now, or well, the sounds, since I showed you all the details. Real quick, I'll show you the underbody. Actually, the speakers are not up here. Most of the time, the locomotives manufacturers put the speaker up above here into the here, but actually the speaker is actually below here. It's in the fuel tank. It's not in the fuel tank. I'll just tip it a little bit. But there's the speakers. Those are actually two speakers, which I think that's really good. Here's the underbody of it. It's pretty heavy when you hold it like that. This locomotive is really, really good. Yeah, there's actually two speakers down here, which that's cool. Instead of one big speaker, two speakers, which makes it really bassy. This engine's bass, basically. So, it is track power. Well, the track power isn't on, but you put track power. Track power is on. Your ditch lights are on. Your headlights are on. And your rear light is not on. But if you put it in the reverse mode, your headlight is on. But then when you move it a little bit, it starts to make the sound. So there's the sound again. Again, it's coming from underneath the locomotive, not above. So I guess we'll go through the F functions and stuff like that from 1. This actually has 29 functions, I believe. We'll just step into some of them. What's nice about this locomotive, this has, actually, not a lot of people know this, but this actually has 2 types of horns. You just heard that first one, but actually the second one, you push F21 and it would show it. It's really cool. So, let's get into the, it's actually even got dispatchers and stuff like that. So let's get into the sounds and stuff like that. Here's the bell. Mechanical bell. And when I blow the horn, it does have flashing ditch lights, which is unprototypical with BNSF. Well, what's really nice is when I just let off the that it actually echoes, so it's really nice. So AC6000, F3 seems to be nothing. F4 is air compressor. F5 is F5 is notch up. So F5 and F6 are notched up, so you can actually rev up the engine. You can hear the bass of it. And then F6 is just notching down. F7's your ditch lights. So it shuts off your ditch lights and turns it on. I don't know what your lumber boards are. I think it's... Hold on. I don't know what your lumber boards are. 8 is mute, of course. It mutes the locomotive. F9 is something. And then we push F10. And then F10 actually is... That's like a sand filler. That's something. I think that's coupling or air compressor, something. Door, I think. Oh, F13's road crossing. So it's coming at a railroad crossing, so it blows. F4 is dispatchers. Well, that's on the board.
Permission to depart. Be advised, switches on the north end might be against you, so go out looking out for switches. That's Roger, go. Permission to depart. Be advised, switches on the north end might be against you, so go out looking out for switches. Permission to depart. That's Roger. We're gonna have problems with that. You have permission to watch the police now. Copy that. Brake test. Stand by ass. Still looking to use it. That's Roger. We're gonna have problems with that. You have permission to watch the police now. Engineer, nine for radio check. That's a good radio. Look out your window. The black SUV. Okay, Dr. Roger.
So that's that, but actually, if you push up 20, actually 21 is something like that. And actually, if you push horn, it actually changes the horn. So actually, this is the second horn. Honestly, I like the second horn better. It sounds like a Jeeva horn, kind of. Kind of. 23 is something. Air compressor release, I think. 24. 25. So, yeah. That's really it about the features of the AC6000. Another thing is, I guess we'll do a run it around my layout. Seats. I'll just couple it up. So we'll back it up, but when we move it, it actually blows the horn when you push the throttle. I'm using a Digitrack Zephyr. Have the second horn. Oops. There we go. Now we're coupled. So I got a couple of grain cars I'm going to pull with it. There's it running, so... This is a standard 4x7. yeah, there's your review of a Broadway Limited AC6000. Here's your full speed. It's pretty fast. I would say it's pretty fast. It's a good pull. I'm not pulling a long load because it's only a 4x7, so I can't pull really long loads unless I go to my train club. But that's okay. But if you have a bigger layout or something like that and you really want to pull an engine, I would highly recommend a Broadway Limited. MSRP prices for this locomotive, I think this one's the earlier release, so I would guess if you still find early release out there, probably $250 or something like that. And then there's the with smoke, I believe that's like $300. So it is a little more than a normal engine, but I'll highly recommend these. What I think about the AC6000, I really like them. I like the sounds. I like the dispatch noise. I really like the I just like the features. Even though this is BNSF, I do like the flash and ditch lights, even though that's not prototypical with BNSF. My thoughts of an AC6000, I really like it a lot. I like the features to it, but mainly I really like the AC6000s because they really pull. This thing's a beast. And I like the bass sound of the speaker below the locomotive. It's really nice. So it runs really good with the locomotive and stuff like that. So I highly recommend you guys to get a AC6000 sometime. So there's the review of an AC6000CW. Again, this is my friend's. I'm borrowing it, so this is not my engine. But this does go to a shout out to Amanda Beast Vacation. Thank you for letting me borrow your engine. So there you go on a review of an HO scale Broadway Limited AC6000s. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you right here next time on my channel. Take care.